All right, lesson 3.3, rate of change and slope. Basically, the rate of change and slope are pretty much the same thing. We find it the same way. And they will be giving you a formula sheet that has the slope formula on it and basically some other stuff that we're going to be needing in this chapter and then for your keystone. So this is on your keystone formula sheet, so you don't have to memorize it, but you just have to know how to use it. So if x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable, then the change in y value over the change in x is how we find the rate of change. So use the table to find the rate of change, then explain its meaning. So we have to figure out the change in y. So what's happening from 78 to 156, from 156 to 234, and what you notice is that it's going up by 78. So the change is 78. So rate of change is 78 over, and then the change in x is going up by 2, is 78 over 2. So then your rate of change would be 78 divided by 2, or 39. Now, what does this mean? 39 would be the cost, $39 per one game would be the rate of change. So it's costing $39 per game for that table. All right, the graph shows the number of people who visited the U.S. theme parks in recent years. Find the rates of change from 2000 to 2002 and from 2002 to 2004. So we're looking for this one as the rate of change. And then what we want to do is we want to do, so there's two different times here, the 2000 to the 2002. So we know we're going from 317 to 324, which is a change in the y value. So if we look at it as ordered pairs, it would be 2000 for the first one for our x, and that's because that's our year, and then 317 for our y. And then our second ordered pair would be 2002 and 324. So the change would be 324 minus 317 over 2002 minus 2000. And that's 7 over 2, or 3.5. 3.5 what? 3.5 million people attend per year. So not only finding an answer, but making sure that we understand that. And I'm kind of doing this question right here in with part A. I'm explaining the meaning. So the rate of change is 3.5 million people per year. So then for the next one, which was 2002 to 2004. So 2002 we said was 324, and then 2004 was 325. So then we have 325 minus 324 over 2004 minus 2002, which is a change of 1 over 2, or 500,000. So 500,000, but basically it's 500,000. So 500,000 people, or attendance, so people per year is what that would represent for the rate of change. How are the different rates of change shown on the graph? Basically, if you look at this, there was more of a change here, so it's steeper, less of a change, so it's not as steep. Here's another steep, this is even steeper yet, so I would expect a bigger rate of change for that last, from the 2004 to the 2006. Determine whether each function is linear, and then explain if it is linear. So what we're looking for here is looking for a constant rate of change. So if it is linear, we need a constant rate of change. So let's look at this and see. So from -6 to negative 8, we went down 2. Then from the next group was negative 2. From negative 10 to negative 12 is negative 2, negative 2. From 1 to 4 is 3, 4 to 7 is 3, 7 to 10 is 3, 10 to 13 is 3. So those are constant. So it's a change in y of negative 2 over 3. So this is linear because it does have a constant rate of change. Let's look at the next one. So 10 to 12 is 2, 12 to 16 is 4, 16 to 18 is 2, 18 to 22 is 4. Now, that kind of looks like a constant, but we really need to make sure that we do have a constant rate of change. This was easy to see. It was negative 2 the whole way. It was positive 3 in part A. So for this one, because it alternates, we kind of have to do something a little bit different. So let's see here. This is 2, and then what's the change from here to here? We're going up 2. So 2 over 2 equals 1 for that first group. And I'm going to highlight them with red. So this first group had a change of 1. So now let's look at the second group, which I will highlight in light blue. So now I want to look at the change from here, these two. So the change for these two, if you can see, was 4 over, and then what's the change from negative 1 to 1 is 2. And then I get a 2. So that change, this blue change, which I didn't highlight, sorry about that. This blue change right here, this 2, they are not the same. So therefore, because these are not equal, this is not linear. So the constant, have to have a constant rate of change. All right, slope is rise over run, which is the change in y over the change in x. So the equation that you need to know, but again, you don't have to memorize it, you just need to know how to use it, is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It's the change in the y values over the change in the x values. So let's go ahead and try a problem. So here you're given a set of ordered pairs. The first thing you do is label. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember, when we label ordered pairs through a pair of points, we know that a pair of points are labeled x comma y. Those are your ordered pairs. Now, the reason I have this 1 here and this 1 here is because that's my first point. This is my first point. This is a 2 and a 2 because this is my second point. So then m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and all it is substitution. So now substitute. y2 is 5 minus y1, which was 0. So here is my y2, my y1, and then now my x2 minus my x1. So it would be 1 minus a negative 2 because it's 1, and then this is a negative 2. So then I keep going, and I get 5 over, this becomes plus 2, which is 3, and then I leave my answer as 5/3. I do not convert it to a mixed number. Do not, with slope, convert. Leave it improper. All right, so the first thing I do in the next one is label x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I write my formula down. We always write our formula down, okay? And it'll be given to you so you don't have to memorize it. So substitute your y2, negative 3, minus my y1, 4, over my x2, 2, minus my x1, negative 3. So negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. This 2 minus a negative becomes 2 plus 3, which is 5, and you leave it as negative 7/5. You don't change it. All right, one more. So label x1, y1, x2, y2. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Substitute y2, negative 1, minus negative 1 for my y1. It's okay, they can be the same. Over x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is negative 3. -1 minus a negative becomes -1 plus 1, which is 0, over 2 minus a negative becomes 2 plus 3, which is 5, which is equal to 0. We can have 0 in our numerator. That is allowed. We cannot have 0 in the denominator. And if you ever try to divide by 0, you will see that it doesn't work. All right, find the slope of a line that passes through. I'll do one more again. But again, here's just an example of your slopes, what a positive, negative, 0, and an undefined slope. So this equation right here, or these points right here, will give you what I mean that you can't have in that previous one. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Substitute. So y2, -3 minus 4 over -2 minus a -2. We get -7 on top. We get plus, so that's going to be 0. And if you tried to do this in your calculator, it's going to say error, undefined, undetermined, which is that's this right here. So what I just did there is your vertical line slope, because it doesn't cross the y-axis. So it is undefined. It can't happen. You can't have a vertical line. Doesn't make sense. Okay? So what we would write here is we would say undefined. You want to know this word and use it when you have 0 in the denominator. For this previous one, what we should have written here is the words no slope or 0 slope is basically what we want to say for that one. Okay, find the value of r so that the line through 1, 4, and 5, -5r has the slope. All right, so again, formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Guys, this is really, truly simple. M is our slope, which they give us right here. So let's replace m with 1/3. Now let's replace our y's and our x's with what's given, x2, y2. So y2 happens to be r. That's fine. R minus y1, which is 4, over x2, which is -5, minus 1. Now let's simplify if we can. So 1/3 we leave as 1/3 equals r minus 4. This can simplify to -6. Now we're getting into something we've already done before, ladies and gentlemen. Cross multiply, -6. Cross multiply. 3 times r minus 4. Don't forget that this is 3 times r and 3 times -4. So then I have -6 equals 3r minus 12. Add 12. Add 12. I get 6 equals 3r. I divide by 3 and I get r equals 2. So there is my answer to the question, r equals 2. And again, here are the positive, negative, 0, undefined slopes, what they look like. Know them. They are hanging up, or no, I'm sorry. They're not hanging up, but Mr. Slope Guy is hanging up. So it's really nice because if you have a positive slope, it's going up. Negative slope, it's going down. If I have a vertical line, this nose right here looks like a U, so it's undefined. Here's his mouth. They look like little dimples here, so that's 0. So that's how Mr. Slope Guy can help you determining slope.